everyone. It's Valerie, otherwise known as Chick Picker. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a great Monday morning. It's been kind of a little chaotic for me. Let me get my chat up. Let's see, how do we do that? There we go. There's that. It's gonna be an interesting show. We're gonna rookie move. Okay, that's good. Let's pop the chat out. Hope everybody had a good weekend of sales. Mine picked up just a little bit. I want to say I have 16 or 17. So not too shabby. Let's see, get on thing, get the chat up in the right spot. There we go, we're set. All right. So I hope everybody had a great weekend. It was busy. It was really busy. I listed all weekend. Just trying to get things live and all 4 platforms and getting stuff up. Trying to get as much stuff as I can up. So let's see here. So Sally's gone. She's at the hospital. I'm pretty sure he's going to the hospital. Her husband's having surgery this morning. So she's not going to be on. And then Todd is in Galveston on vacation. He got to take care of Mama. So that's fun. And let's see, who else? Who else isn't going to be on there or on here? I don't know. I think that's it. Of the normal people. What's normal, right? Let me look here and see if I can. I know Rita said that she might be able to come on for a little bit. I got to take my packages out at 9, so if somebody can remind me of that. Yeah, it was pretty. The majority of the things that I sold was clothing. Hi, Anissa. I think I sold 2 items. Sold a pack of ink and hi, Nashana. And a Craftsman battery charger thing. And then everything else was clothing. So anybody that says clothing doesn't sell, and it was like I sold candies, I sold, what else did I sell? Candies. There was like a poncho that I sold. Coldwater Creek. A lot of it has to do with style. Style, like the Coldwater Creek was a blazer. It was a linen blend blazer. I think I have 16 or 17 going out today. That's from Friday afternoon to this morning. This morning I had 2 sales already. So that wasn't too bad. And that was eBay, Poshmark, and Macari. I think I had 10. No, I had 11 on eBay, 4 on Poshmark, and 2 on Macari. So, good morning, Liz. Let me know if anybody wants to come on. It's just me, I think. I'll send out the link. So yeah, it wasn't a bad week. It was better than a couple of other weekends, but it wasn't too bad. You know, my goal for the weekend is always 20. I like to have 20 going out. Oh, she has 3. Anissa has 3 sales from 3 platforms too. And then this weekend I also started adding things to Etsy. So currently I have 4 platforms going. So, but you know, Etsy is very you can't put everything on there. So I've just kind of been going through my listings and picking out stuff that pertains to. I have some vintage clothing. I have some jewelry, handkerchiefs, linens, and stuff like that. I mean, I grab it. Yes, I am on Amazon too, but I don't really count that because I don't get. I don't know. I just don't count that. But yeah, I do sell on Amazon too, which I haven't sent in a box in forever. I need to send a box or 2 in, but I haven't done that yet. Really, since I've been, it's probably been since November that I sent a box in, which sounds awful. But, you know, I mean, it is what it is. You know, trying to feed the beast, and there's a lot of beasts, and I'm trying to feed them all, and I only got so much food. So, and I don't do. I don't do a whole lot. I don't have a whole lot of sales on Amazon, which I need to get better at. There's always room for improvement, right? I need to ship some stuff too. I haven't sent anything this year. You haven't, Liz? You used to be like the Amazon guru. I'm sure you're still the guru, but you know, we just get caught up. I had a lot of plans when I got back in January. Still trying to get back on the. You know, the thing with the restricted part is the thing that really helped me, and Bridget helped me a lot. She because I used to think the same thing. You know, there's so much restricted, but when you hit that, when you find out that something's restricted, then you can go in and you know, request approval, and sometimes they'll just approve you right there. Sometimes they won't, but a lot of times they'll just approve you for that brand, and you know, you can go ahead and send whatever you want in. So it's not. I used to, because I was on it before, started selling, and I was hitting roadblocks. Like, so much was restricted. But the second time, you know, Bridget was like, just start, you know, looking at brand names. And, type it in, see if you're restricted. And if you are, then request an approval. And sometimes they'll just approve you right there. So that is a trick. Um, but there's a lot of stuff that's not. A lot of houseware stuff, a lot of kitchenware and stuff like that is not. You need to get a little bit of a track record with Amazon, and they will start to auto ungate in some things when you request. That's true. That's true, and I'm sure with her because she does a lot of Amazon. I'm sure that the more that you send in, the more they'll ungate you, and you'll be able to send other things in. It'll just broaden your horizons there. Morning, Hank. But it's a good platform. You have to work it. Just like the other platforms, you got to work it. But it is a good platform, and I understand. $40 a month. But you could also do it the other way and just do. You could send in less than, I think it's 40 items, or just to try it out, or you could do I think it's $1 per item when you don't have a professional account. I mean, just to try it out. You can go that route. Yeah, I got the old monster going on this morning. Although I woke up earlier than what I thought I was going to wake up. I think I woke up at 6. I went to bed at like 1. But I was trying to watch Walking Dead, and I like Norman Reedus. I like his that show Drive. I've always liked that, and they just started the new season of that. So I was watching that. Time change is kicking me. I don't know. Yeah, it sucks. Time change always sucks because you just got to get into a different mode. But we're dealing with it. I got some things listed yesterday, but I am such a procrastinator on my listing or my my packing. You would think that I would that I'd like be on top of it, but usually I will go and get the item when it sells, but I don't package it up when it sells. I just go and get it. Every day I'm hustling says, yeah, they charge $1 an item if you don't have a professional. But if you do professional, they let you have a little easier ungating on the basics. And they don't charge you $1 per item. Yeah. I mean, so, there's pros and cons to it. I just need to get back into it. I just need to really start having a day where I just go out and source solely for Amazon. And I have failed. Morning, Frankie. But, there's always tomorrow. There's always room for improvement. And you can't look back. You got to look forward and try better. There's always tomorrow. Try to do better tomorrow. It's been raining here. Yesterday it was like 70 degrees, but the wind was screaming. I mean, it was it was crazy. Just big, huge gusts of wind, and I'm surprised I don't have trees on my car. So, let's see, I got ungated with wholesale invoices, and I had a killer weekend sourcing. That's awesome. That is really cool. That's my trouble is I don't I don't go sourcing enough, and the reason behind that is just because I'm in such a rural area that it makes it hard to source. If I drive somewhere, it's going to be anywhere from 30 to 60 miles. There she is.
Hola.
Hello. How you
Howdy.
feeling?
All right. I kind of have a little bit of a misstep yesterday, so I'm back in my chair for today.
Uh-oh.
Getting
You
out of the
grounded?
shower or getting in the shower, I kind of slid a little bit, and
Uh-oh.
so just kind of, I think my stitches kind of pulled a little bit, so it's a little swollen today and sore. So
Yeah.
you know me, I'm trying to push it too quickly because I want to get things going again.
I
So I'm
know.
back in the chair for the day.
Well,
So
that's probably a good thing.
yeah, Teresa told me I probably did too much because I was out walking, walking around helping. She's got a project going on, which involves construction or destruction at the moment. So she keeps asking questions. So I would walk out there and answer her questions, and she says, "I'm going to do this." I was like, "Okay, I'm just going to let her go ahead." He wants to expand the laundry room, so she's got my son coming over and his girlfriend. They're working on that, and I'm in here like, okay. Normally that's something I would oversee or do myself, but I'm like, go ahead.
I bet that's so hard for you.
Yeah, because I love doing that stuff. So,
Right. Right. Morning,
but,
Maggie.
just gonna let her have at it.
That's awesome.
How are you feeling, Lori?
Pretty good. I don't see Maggie. Where's she at? I just see me in the corner.
No, she's in there.
I hear her.
I
Sorry to
see
hear
her.
about your kitty cat, Maggie.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, they're our babies. They're our
Yeah.
kids.
We got one. He's pushing. He's gonna be 18 this year, and I'm surprised he's still around.
Yeah.
But he's starting to get real frail. He's losing the weight. He eats and stuff, but he's just not very active anymore. He don't groom himself like he used to. And they say that's one of the signs when they stop caring about how they look, they're ready to go.
He was almost 19.
Yep. So
We had take to the vet 2 years ago because he lost a lot of weight and he started losing weight.
uh-huh.
But a week ago he was skinny but feisty and grouchy and talkative, and then
Oh yeah, he's the same. Pat's is like that.
yeah, but he just
So,
the one day he woke up and he was walking sideways, his head was tilted,
uh-huh.
and I called the vet, and they said they had an appointment a few days down the road, and he was still eating, still drinking.
Mhm.
But that morning when I got up, he had eaten, and when I went out, he had food all over his face.
Uh-huh.
I had to wipe his face and wipe his paws. So when I took him in,
Uh-huh.
the doctor said, and they took his weight, he was down to 6 pounds.
Wow.
Wow.
Temperature, and he said his temperature was really low, and he said to me, he said, I could do tests and I could do anything you want, he said, but this kid,
Stop it, you two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we thought that about Patch too, so, but I'm sorry to hear that. He's a pretty kitty.
I used to tell him, he was a girl.
And he definitely had a personality.
Yes.
Yeah.
And didn't hide it at all.
Oh, that's like Patch. He still struts around here like he's the lion of the pride, and he'll smack, Bambi will go up to him and he'll reach out and just smack her right in the head. He's still got his feistiness. He's just not as fast. And we thought he was dying a couple of weeks or about a month or so ago. Teresa called me over at my sister, said, I think something's wrong with Patch. And I said, what? She said, he's just laying out here. And he's one that, he's not very social. So we're used to him not being around us all the time.
Right.
And when he comes out and he was laying on the chair, she said she thought that was unusual. I said, well, is he eating? She said, I don't know. I thought, well, let's get him some soft food.
Mm-hmm.
So then as soon as that can popped open, by God, he was like a kitten again. It was his teeth. His teeth were hurting him. He couldn't eat. He hadn't been eating hard food because he was.
Oh.
I looked in his mouth and he had some teeth missing. I said, it's his teeth. I said, that's what it is. Because he's one, you hardly see him. When you do see him, it's because of, something's wrong with him. He'll come out to us.
Mm-hmm.
So, because he just likes the solidarity, he's just one of those kind of cats.
Yep.
And he's not one to sit on your lap, nothing like that, unless something's wrong, unless he's trying to tell you something. So, we switched him to soft food, and he did put on some more weight, but not very much. But he's got his vigor back where he'll run past the dogs as quickly as he can because they like to chase him. So, and then he's back to his, sitting on the heater at night, just thinking he's Pavarotti or something. It kills me. So,
Good morning,
but yeah.
Todd. Good morning, Todd from Galveston.
Todd?
Galveston.
I have never been there before.
I'd like to go if that's got all those crawfish meals and that.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Crawfish boil.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever had crawfish, actually.
I don't think I ever have.
Oh, I love them. I get them at there's one Chinese restaurant that serves really, really big ones. They're like little freshwater lobsters, basically.
Right.
They're just not as sweet, but especially if they're fixed like in with the Louisiana flavorings and stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Back by you. Oh, yeah. It's like, yeah. I'm like Scooby-Doo and Shaggy on that. If you ever seen was it Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island when they go, that's all they eat is crawfish and hot peppers?
Yep.
That's me.
When we were in New Orleans a few years ago, I think I had crawfish etouffee.
I don't know what that is. I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
It was like something, I think, and I don't remember.
It's like, oh.
Morning, fishing and picking.
Hey, everybody in the chat.
Yeah, I can't see the chat, y'all, so you're all gonna have to. All I can see is who's talking.
That's okay.
So I'm on my iPad.
Thank you for coming on and keeping me company here. Hopefully everything's good with Sally and Brandon and.
She's not gonna be on today.
No, she had to take Brandon. He had surgery scheduled for today.
Oh yeah, I remember her talking about that.
So, and she's off. She's excited because she's off all week. She's off Monday through
Good
Friday.
for her.
So I told her, I said, well, you need to, make sure Brandon knows you're not going to be doting over him too much because you got work to do.
Yeah. That's what Teresa said. She couldn't wait till the doctor gave me the okay to get up and walk around because she wanted to get started on that project. So, because she kept pushing, she says, you got to get up soon and try to put some weight on that foot because they weren't able, if they were to be able to repair it the way he wanted to, I would have not been able to walk on it for up to 30 days.
Oh, wow.
So the damage was so bad that between my kneecap and the meniscus that all they did was basically anchor it back down. So with just a band. So he was not able to repair it fully. So I'm going to have a weak knee and it's going to be painful from time to time, but at least I can walk. So,
right.
But it won't be as bad as it was. So he said,
so is there, and that's it? I mean, they're not going to go back in and do anything?
Nope, not that I'm not now, not right now anyway. So,
Yeah,
but
it's just kind of the way it is, and
yeah, he said it was a lot worse than he even thought it would be, and he
wow.
couldn't do anything but make it to where it didn't flop back and around.
Right.
Anchor it basically with a couple of stitches and hope that that tissue grows around it to hold it in place. He said if anything, it might come loose again and have to go in and re-anchor it or something. So he says, but at least I'll be able to be mobile and I won't be, able to not walk on it. I'm
Right.
like, well, but it looks nasty. It's just got two where they put two cuts on either side of my kneecaps, two slits.
Uh-huh.
And then they went in with like cameras on these I got little pokey holes on either side where the camera was, and then they go in and clean all that out, stitch that up, and I'm like, ugh. So then I got to go the 20th and get up the stitches removed. So I said, why didn't they just put dissolvable stitches in? Because I do not want to go watch that.
Yeah, I understand.
I'll be like, nope.
Yeah, keep your eyes closed.
Oh yeah. I know one thing. I have gotten a lot of sleep, and I must have needed it because I slept most of all last week since I've been back.
Right.
Between the pain meds and everything else, I was out.
Well, sometimes we need that.
Yeah. So
Just tells our body, I don't know. Sometimes we just need it.
I mean, even a
well,
minor,
what's that?
even like a minor surgery, not that it was minor, but it's just a trauma to your system.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, I got to keep a pillow on top of my knee because what knee do the dogs want to jump on is
Oh my
that
gosh.
one.
Yes.
So I've got two pillows over top of, because usually Benji, he will jump from the back of the couch into my chair, and he hits that one every time. And if I get up to go to the bathroom, he bum rushes me, and that's the knee he hits. He gets excited, and his little feet. It's like, so, I'm like, I love you guys, but stay away from me.
I know. When I had my knee replacement, that's where the cats wanted to be, right
Yeah.
up.
And Bambi
Right
has been stuck to me. I'm gonna start calling her Hook and Loop because she's like a piece of Velcro. Since Tuesday, she has not left my side. If I go anywhere, she is right there. I mean, Teresa had to pick her up and carry her to make her go outside to go potty because she does not want to leave me. So she's like a little mother hen. She's over here right now.
Wow. She
So
thinks she's helping you.
Yeah, I said she thinks she's my mommy,
That's
taking
right.
care of me.
That's right. Yes.
It's cute though. Then she gets mad when Benji comes and lays with me. And it's like, no, this is my mommy. You go away. He just plopped down anyway. So, but it's been interesting.
Yep.
Oh.
How's
So
sales
how is
been
it?
doing?
What's that?
How's sales been doing?
I was getting ready to ask the same thing. Actually, they did pretty good. I got 5 going out today, and they actually paid for one of the non-payment items about 2:00 this morning. Woke me up. Well, I don't mind that, but I'm still waiting for payment on. They had to open a case on another item. It's a little over $100. I don't know why people do that. That irritates me to death. Do not send me an offer and I accept and you not pay for it. I just want to just like, huh.
Right.
So I mean, it's like sometimes I wonder if it's another reseller.
Well, I mean, yeah, I just think that people have done it, repeat offenders have done it, for so long that's just what they do. And, it's not right.
No, it's not. And eBay needs to crack down on. They need to come up with something better than just smacking them on the hand and say, don't do it again. They need to suspend them. At least suspend them for a month or 2. Say, okay, for every time you do it, you get suspended, not or something.
Yeah.
Because if we mess up, they want to cancel our account,
Oh yeah, we'll be done.
They need to do what Poshmark does, and when an offer is accepted, take them. It's got to be able to be done because other platforms do it. When they take the money.
Yep. They should have immediate payment regardless.
Yep.
we shouldn't have to wait, even though it's an offer. I think they need to change that policy because that's ridiculous. Because there's so many repeat offenders out there that do it.
Yeah. And you would think, I don't, I mean, I don't know how many times a person can do it before they're, completely suspended or, but I mean, it seems like people are just doing it's hard for me to kind of keep track of
Yeah.
like the names and everything, but you would think that, the people that are doing it that are not paying and it goes through the assistant and, ends, I mean, without payment, you would think that would block somebody from,
Yeah.
but
Being
apparently
able to purchase.
they have several times that they can do that. I don't know.
Well, that's something that eBay needs to look into because it's happened a lot to me
Sure.
twice this month, and I know it was at least 2 or 3 times last month.
Yep.
It's like,
How can you run a business that's
Frankie
yeah,
said,
it's like going to
if
Walmart
nobody's
saying,
paying?
here, it's like going to Walmart and saying, here, I want this, but I'll pay for it in 3 days and then not come back and get it. They're like, no, that's not how that works. You pay for it today to take it,
Right. Right.
Frankie says we need to protect sellers. Sellers. Because it's the industry standard, free shipping, the industry standard. Well, you know
Right.
what? Also industry standard. If we're going to be held to industry standards, so should buyers.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what's good for the goose should be good for the gander,
Yep.
Should go both ways.
Yep. Absolutely.
And
And
now
I do think that with managed payments, it may be a little bit different.
And
They
maybe that's
may
what
be
they're waiting on.
trying to go on, go that route.
hey, Denise,
Because I mean, they've taken a lot of, like the offers to watchers and stuff like that. I mean, that wasn't something that they came up with.
Right.
watch that. Remember that little that little town hall they had a few weeks
Yeah.
ago? One of the things they talked about was this innovative idea for offers, and I'm just talking to this.
They stole that from Poshmark.
Yeah.
And it may, who knows? I mean, it may have been their idea, but it's not. It's only an idea unless it, comes to fruition. I mean, it's not. You got to make it happen. You got to make
Right.
it live, or somebody else is going to take that idea and
Right.
definitely
And run with it.
Poshmark. And this says, I messaged and said, do you want the other item? Oh, she said, I've got an order. Now the buyer paid for one item and the other item is not paid or in the not paid category. I messaged the buyer and said, do you want the other item? I'd like to ship the order together. If not, cancel and offer to other buyers. Vision and Pickens says, I had a first on eBay. I sold a new alternator 3 weeks ago. The buyer left positive feedback. The feedback message, they said they got their truck running. They opened a return case Friday saying order by mistake.
What?
Send back the bad. Oh, what? I would be calling eBay
They're trying
right
to send back
now.
they're trying to send back their bad alternator because they said they've done shot themselves in the foot by saying, got their truck running, which means they took his, put it in the truck, took the old one out and trying to send it back. What is wrong with people?
No. I mean, especially if they sent or they've got a message that they got their truck running, then no.
And if eBay sides with the buyer, there's a major problem there.
Oh yeah.
That's like I sold a Funko Pop, and it was in a pop protector, and it was in mint condition because I bought it off of a collector. Well, somebody gets it, and 2 weeks later says, "I just opened it." Well, what do you mean you just opened it? And he sends me pictures saying there's a crease in the back. Well, he took it out of the pop protector, and I think that, well, the picture he sent me wasn't in a pop protector, which is a piece of thick plastic, kind of like it covers just like a baseball card plastic. The
Right.
top loaders, it's the same type of material, so it's really kind of thick. And I think he had one and had a crease in it, is sending me that one back. And
Hmm.
Teresa says, "Well, why don't you fight it?" I said, because I have learned the hard way that a lot of times they side with the buyer anyway. So I'm just going to take it back. I said, "I only have $2 in it anyway." I said, "I'm just going to give it to AJ for his birthday because he likes Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it's the Blue Eyes White Dragon or something like that." And I sold it for like $18.
Right.
Um, so I didn't have, like I said, I only got $2 into it. So I said, "It's no skin off my teeth." I said, "But it's just the concept alone that I already know
Yeah.
that it's going to be his word against mine.
Yeah.
Even though I have my photos, my photos all have it in the pop protector. And if you blow up that same section that he sent me with mine in the pop protector, you don't see the crease.
Right.
But yet the one he sent me. So he marked it down as damaged in shipping. So he didn't put it against me.
Right.
But still, and it just irritates me. He said, and I said, "Well, I do have a store code on it," which I do. And he says, "Well, you'll get the right one back." I'm thinking, okay, we'll see. So if it doesn't come back with the store code on it, then because I write it on with you can't see it, invisible marker,
Uh-huh.
and for them to get it back like it was exactly like it was when wrote on the protector is going to be pretty hard because it all lines up a certain way. But
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. And I told Teresa, I said, it's just going to be his word against mine. And most generally, what I've learned is eBay mostly sides with the buyer, and that's
Yeah.
where they need to make a change too, because we're the ones that make them the money. If it wasn't for the sellers,
Yeah.
it's
There
like, wait a
wouldn't be
minute,
an eBay.
you're right. I said, I know back in the day of brick and mortar, it was always the customer's always right, but not anymore. That's changed.
Yeah.
That's no longer the golden rule of retail. That just doesn't fly anymore. Whether it's new or used, it's still, you can't let them get away with everything. So
Right. Right.
they do. And what are we going to do about it? We just have to sit on our hands and hope it changes. I have to sit on mine because I'm going to be showing all kinds of signs that they don't like to see. But it's like,
Good morning, Karen.
And Craig is here, and Nishana Lee. Good to see
Yeah.
everybody.
Frankie says, "Yep, I hate eBay. I'm selling on Macari." Yeah. I mean, you do whatever, whatever place you need to sell on, you know. I mean,
I still like eBay, but
sure, sure. I mean, it's a platform, and as much as we don't like some of the rules and some of the things that they do,
they have
it's
more good stuff than bad, I think.
yeah,
So, but that's going to be with any platform you use. To me, I think there's always going to be something that we don't like about it. But
right.
it's like grin and bear it, as my dad used to say. Just grin and bear it.
In the end, that's all that matters.
Yeah. So if you're making money, that's just the what they call that the how the cookie crumbles.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
have to adapt and work with it. But
Yeah.
eBay has always been what I've come back to over all the years that I've done resale. I've done thrift, what they call that, flea markets and, weekly yard sales, all that. I've always come back to eBay, and then when I decided to go full time, I'm glad I did. So,
Morning, Kathy.
Morning, Kathy.
Karen's-
hello.
Hope you're
Karen's-
feeling good. She recently had a surgery.
Yeah.
The joys of getting old, right?
My mind's up here. I'm like 18, but my body's like, "Hey, stupid, that's not how." You're like, "No, you can act 18 all you want, but your body says, I don't think so." my daughter's like 18. Half the time you act like you're 5. I'm like, so?
Karen says, yes, Lori, I had a buyer claim that the Disney lamp broke. She sent the wrong photo with the lamp completely intact, and eBay still sided with her. What?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
It's like
Wow.
sometimes I wonder if the left hand don't know what the right hand's doing. When it comes to the people running eBay, it's like,
Yeah.
they have to get some people in there with a little bit of common sense and not have to work from a script.
Yeah.
They need actual people that work in the actual location right there. And where is it? Are they in Anaheim, California? I know they're in California somewhere. And it's like those people need to be on top of what's going on, not outsourced to India or wherever it is they have their call centers outsourced to. They need actual people looking at these cases and saying, okay, here's what we see. The buyer's claiming this and the seller's claiming this. Let's look at this and see what we can do. Rather than say you have Zimbabwe out here that, they can't talk very well, trying to solve the case for you, and they don't even know English.
Right.
They don't even know what it is you're selling.
Yeah.
So
Nashana says eBay would stand behind the sellers when I first started. Then 2011, eBay made big changes, and most of my mentors went to Etsy, but eBay was home. I finally left eBay 2018.
I don't think I'll never leave eBay because it's so familiar and comfortable to me.
And you got the traffic.
Yeah.
The traffic is the main thing.
Yes. And, but I'm wanting to branch out. I've got one thing on Macari, and it's only one thing right now. I buy more than I sell, but Macari. But I want to see how that goes and learn it, and then start doing that, and then do Poshmark, which I told Lacey. I said when I do Poshmark, I might have her as my sourcing person because she's up on all the new trends of clothing and purses and shoes. And then, she's like, oh, would you pay me to do that? I said, if you did a good job. If it brought us money, yes. So I said, because I told her, I said, that's my plan. And hello, that's Dougie. Hi, Dougie. That's my plan in 10 years is to have a big pole barn and like a warehouse type thing to run the business out of. What do you want? So, because we're looking into our future as far as what we have going on here on this property and what's going to happen within possibly in the next 10 years. So we're pushing a 10-year plan to have a piece of land with have a modular home put on it, pole barn, all that. So that's what we're looking at. And then have the family help run the business. So
yeah, I mean, that would be great.
Yeah. It's like I told Teresa, I come to the realization that even though I grew up in this mobile home, I take the memories with me. So because it can't be moved. I've come to that realization. I said, but we need to start thinking future wise. I said, because I'm not getting any younger, and there's things that I want to do, and that's one of them is to grow my business to where I can have something to leave my kids when I'm gone.
Right.
They can take over and run it if they want to, or sell everything off and get the rewards from it. So whatever they. So
Cathys says she's actually feeling really great. Was sent home the same day of the surgery. Compared to the knee surgeries, this is a cakewalk.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're doing good and recovering is going good. That's awesome.
They had me there at 9:45 in the morning to check in, and I don't think I got out of there till after 4 in the afternoon.
Wow.
So I was out of it most of that time, so I don't know what the delay was, but because Teresa said everybody's messaging her wanting to know if I come through okay, because everybody worries about the anesthesia and stuff like that. That's always a big concern. I've never had any issues with that, so that never bothered me. But of course, my sisters are like, "Is she come out of it okay?" Now they did have a hard time waking me up. I slept like an hour or two longer than they wanted me to, and I figure it's because I was tired. I don't know why, but they finally got me awake. But I was just snoozing along.
Hmm.
So I don't know why I wouldn't wake up. I mean, I was breathing and stuff, but and later that day when I tried to eat something, I think I said, "What did they do to my jaw? They must have had to put a tube down me because they
Yeah.
had said something about sleep apnea or whatever." I said, "No, I've never been diagnosed with it." So I think they were. If they put me out, I don't know. I don't know anything about what goes on with anesthesia other than it knocks me out.
Uh-huh.
But I think they said something that if I had signs of sleep apnea or something, they would have to put a tube,
Right.
like breathing tube.
Uh-huh.
So, and I'm thinking they did that and popped my jaw because it was so sore I couldn't chew. I said,
Well,
"What the hell did they do to me?"
because they do put a tube down you when they put the mask on you,
Uh huh.
and then once they are, once you are out, then they will put the tube down you, and that's how you breathe. You're breathing on a
Yeah.
ventilator. Um, and then after the surgery's over, that's part of the recovery is taking that tube out.
Uh
And
huh.
sometimes when they put the tube in, sometimes they can kind of jack your jaw up,
They must have
and
done it.
you know, I mean that can happen. That's
Yeah.
definitely a complication that can
It
happen.
hurt for 2 days. I was eating. I couldn't hardly chew anything. I had to eat eggs. Soft boiled eggs.
Yeah.
So I couldn't chew anything. I'm like, what they do? Hit me and elbow me or something? I said they had to have put a tube in me. I thought they were talking about local anesthesia, and then something about if I wasn't breathing right, they'd put a tube in or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
So, but I was, on medic. I was half out of it. So I don't know. They could have dyed my hair pink, and I wouldn't have cared.
Yep.
I think for my knee replacement, they did an epidural, right? Is
Uh-huh.
that
792.50.
Yeah.
right?
So you're basically just numb.
Right.
Mm.
And they
From
gave me something to make me basically sleep through it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
2 other surgeries where I had the tube down, and each
yeah.
one, my singing voice just
Yeah,
ridiculous.
my throat was sore, and then my jaw was hurting. So
Never gotten it back to where it was.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
glad it's over, and I'm on the mend. And
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of overdid it. I went next door yesterday. I had to go up like 3 or 4 steps to get in the next door, and I think that kind of helped aggravate my knee too. But I didn't go by myself. Teresa went with me, and because
Don't
there's
overdo it.
what's that?
Don't
Nope.
overdo it.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
kind of, sort of. I've already overdid it.
Been
That's
there,
Nice
why
is
I'm
done
your best
that.
friend.
in the chair today. So
Did
she
they give
says,
you
"I
a
will."
did they
What's
give you
that?
a cryo cuff?
No,
Oh, those are nice.
no. They said if they hadn't been able to fix it the way they wanted to, I'd have been in that special brace that they sent and all that. So when I woke up and didn't see that brace, I knew they weren't able to repair it the way they had hoped. So
Right.
it's kind of it's just tacked in, anchored is what they called it. So
Well, at least they were able to do something,
yeah,
because I mean that would have
yeah,
really been bad if you had to, go through all the surgery stuff and then they wouldn't be able to do nothing.
right.
Suck.
Tell me about it.
That would
I'm just
suck.
glad to be off the I hate crutches because my balance is horrible anyway, and being on crutches is not fun.
No.
Hi, Bamber. Did you decide to come out and see everybody and say hi? Hi, Bamber.
Aw, there's Bambi.
That's my nursemaid here,
You're so cute.
and Dougie's trying to. Look, there's Dougie. Hi, Dougie.
He's hanging around.
Yeah, that's my buddy, huh? Yeah. Bambi's like, oh, Bambi looking at him. There she goes. She's going after him.
What are you doing? Stop bothering Mom.
That's basically what it is. He's something
Sorry,
else.
I'm late. I had 30 items to pack up, so
Ooh,
30.
no, I'm
30.
kidding. No, I didn't.
Bambi, leave him alone.
I'm just kidding around.
Oh, okay.
I really
I
didn't
wish
have
you
30.
had 30. That would have been
I wish I
awesome.
did.
That would have
Ay,
been
ay,
awesome.
ay, ay, ay. Not the knee, not the knee. Ow! Boom! Butthead.
So, who was saying that? Oh, yeah, Kathy said, lucky you didn't go to the local hospital the day before my surgery. They had the first coronavirus
Lovely.
admitted. I know they had one locally here that was diagnosed. So,
There's some in Kentucky.
I mean, it's just it's going
And-
around. I think it's definitely the media that's, it's the story, and everybody's got to get in on it and get on the news, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
They've been, I mean, the
Jonathan.
coronavirus has been around since the 60s. This is just a different strand of it.
Right.
Because if you look at Lysol cans, the word coronavirus, it's on there. And they've been
Wow.
vaccinating cows and stuff for that for years too.
Huh.
It's just a different strand. It's a stronger strand. And I think the media is blowing it up more than what it actually is, because if you look at look at the flu compared to the coronavirus, the flu is a lot worse.
Right.
Everything that you go through is,
Yeah.
it's a lot worse than what you go through with the coronavirus.
Yep.
But if you have a low immune system, those are the ones that are, susceptible to it getting it really, really bad and possibly
Yeah.
it being fatal.
Your
It's just-
older, your elderly people.
Yep.
that
And that's
have
with
very
anything,
low.
really. If just and like they're saying, wash your hands if you have to go out in public, wash your hands as often as you possibly can.
Yep.
Use those Perel things at the stores to wipe your carts down or whatever, or and I think this is ridiculous about the masks and the hand sanitizer. It's
Mhm.
ridiculous what's going on right there. It's like,
Yeah.
come on, the
Yep.
flu is a lot worse and we haven't gone crazy. It's because of the media jacking it up as bad as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's terrible in China. And it seems like if you think about it, all these things come from China for some reason because they have to experiment with bio warfare over there. And that's what they're doing. They're
Yep.
taking these viruses and trying to make them to where they can use them against the enemy or whatever, which is stupid.
Mhm.
Karen said, don't mention coronavirus, you'll get demonetized. Really?
That last night on another channel.
That's crazy.
I don't
You
know.
know,
My
I
thing
just-
is, well, I was watching Dr. Drew one day. This was a couple weeks ago. And he said that we need to worry more about the flu that's going around right now
Yeah,
that's killing people than we do the coronavirus. And he said, yeah, it's all media hype
exactly.
and everything. Well, honestly, I don't wipe down carts when I use them and stuff. And I do have a lowered immune system because of all the medicine I'm on. But honest to God, we have antibacterial our lives so much
Yeah.
that's why we can't fight anything off because we've done so much with antibacterial. And I've always said like like when there's a newborn baby, get that baby out in the world and get it some germs.
Yeah.
Our immune system learns to fight this stuff off.
Right.
And honest to God, it's the people, I mean, yes, the elderly need to be very cautious and
Right.
stuff, but and the real sickly people. But us normal people, you know what I mean?
Oh, no, I'm not normal.
Those of us that are not old and decrepit, you just have to use your head. I mean, if you're sick, you need to keep your fluids in you and stuff like that. I mean, most of these people that are dying, it's because they're not taking proper care of themselves.
Mhm.
Right.
It's not the virus that's killing people. It's all the effects of it. And mostly
Right.
it's hydration.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And they said like coronavirus can turn into pneumonia. Well,
Mhm.
if you're having respiratory issues, get in and get seen, get taken
Well,
care
hell,
of, you know.
a dang cold can turn into pneumonia.
Yes.
Exactly.
You know,
You know,
And
and
I mean,
pneumonia.
they're connecting the coronavirus. They're connecting that to whatever else is out there, and because they want the ratings, they want the news, they want it, they
Yeah.
want it
yeah.
because that's what's bringing in, views, I guess. Um, the main thing is, if you're sick, stay in. If
Right.
you have a cold,
Don't go to work. It's
don't try to wash your hands if you've got a cold and you're coughing and everything, wash your hands like crazy.
Yeah.
mhm.
um
That's like at the nursing home. They're gearing up for it, and
yeah.
they're telling staff, if you get sick, don't come to work. I said, do you know how many people are going
Oh
to use
yeah.
that? Yeah, they're going to abuse that.
Sure.
I'm sick,
Yeah.
I can't come in, because I'm like, you're going to be understaffed when it does hit.
Yeah.
You're going to have a major problem on your hands, because people are going to use that to get off work, because most of the aides there are young. So of course they're going to say, oh, I'm sick, I can't work today or tomorrow or whenever. So it's like,
Yeah.
they just shot themselves in the foot there. I said, all you older workers are going to be stuck there doing double and triple shifts,
Yeah.
because of, yeah. Okay. I told
Yeah.
Teresa, I said, you better get some sleep. I said, because you're going to be working a lot, because the corporate said that. So watch. I said, you watch, mark my words. All those 20-some-year-olds that you had to call off because they have the sniffles, they're really going to be calling off now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But like
The-
me, I wash my hands. I'm actually fanatical about washing my hands.
me too.
But as far as like like sanitizer and stuff, people in this day and age think that it's okay to not wash your hands. That it's just okay to just throw sanitizer on your hands.
No, you have to do
And
both.
there is nothing like washing your hands. I'm sorry. People are like, well, sanitizer is like 98% effective, blah, blah, blah. There is nothing like washing your hands thoroughly.
Sanitizer is if you cannot wash your hands somewhere.
Yeah.
That's like it's like a go between you and the sink.
Yep.
But
Yeah, exactly.
if there's no soap and water available, yeah, that's great to have that, but not as a replacement for soap and water.
Like when I'm at the doctor's office, they like to come in and just use hand sanitizer. I'm like, no, wash your hands.
Yeah. Well, think about
'Cause
it.
I don't know if they
You
had
have
their
to
finger up
touch the
somebody's
hand
butt
sanitizer.
or something. I don't want them touching me.
Right. You have to touch it to begin with. So that kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
If they're touching it with dirty hands to get the hand sanitizer, they're leaving germs on it, and the next person comes around, touches it, ends up with the germs anyway. It's like,
Yeah.
okay. So I was like, soap and water,
That's
it's
your
the
best
next
bet.
best thing. Yes. I mean, I take, even like when we go camping, I see a lot of people with hand sanitizer on their picnic tables.
Yeah.
I have a bucket for, I have a washing station, and it's got a just water dispenser and there's a bar of soap right there. You wash your hands. I always told my
Yep.
kids, wash your hands.
Yep.
So I still do
We
that.
always bring baby wipes with us camping,
Yep.
just in case we can't wash
Baby
our hands,
wipes
toes and stuff. But
and
my
soap and
husband
water.
just says, "Oh, I wash my hands every time I pee on them."
God.
Typical man thing to say.
A good thing.
I
Karen
tell you what,
says,
I use more hand sanitizer for cleaning my items that I
Yeah.
sell than I do for my hands on a regular basis. So
And so let's change the subject, Savili. Honest to God, Karen, is that true?
I wouldn't
Or
doubt
is she
it.
being funny.
I wouldn't doubt it, but I don't. It's not a big deal if I don't get it.
Yeah, stop licking that Cheeto dust off your fingers.
There you go.
Buy another bag.
Buy
Yeah, but
another
that's the best
bag.
part. That's the
Morning,
best
Mr.
part, is
Sadie.
licking your fingers.
Uh,
I watched the fat community, the community that they judge the fat community on there, and they're all like, this one woman, heavy woman who sits there and she'll be eating and then she licks her fingers and they're like, oh my God, she's licking her fingers. Are we an adult? I'm like, shit, I lick my fingers all the time.
Oh my
That's
God.
already eaten.
Morning.
That's you. See right there. That's you right there.
Mike says, are you guys sure? You sure are sure. You're sure you're sure. Rate is exponential. It spread like wildfire in Italy, Germany. Models show no hospital beds in May. That's, I mean, that's the flu. You know,
Yeah.
people get the flu.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
that time of year. I mean, that's what happens.
Okay. Glad you're here.
That's right, Liz. Soap is sexier. Alcohol gives you wrinkled up hands. Yeah.
Unless you drink it, like wine and beer. So I'm getting plenty of that. Not now, but I was before.
Yeah, Karen said that's true. Supposedly people get their ads turned off because they're talking about it.
That's ridiculous.
Well,
You
you
never know
know.
with YouTube. YouTube has gotten crazy. They're like, they're just getting crazy about demonetizing people. So
Well, now that's regulating freedom of speech. So
no, I watched this anxiety war, and he's this guy that catches online predators that are trying to meet up with young kids. And the other day he made a video and he was reading the chat he was having with the person, the predator. And he was saying things, I mean, just nasty words, like, I don't want to say them because I don't want to screw up her monetization, but he was saying, things like, the C word and the P word for genitals, and stuff. But then again, he was able to say, and he had to say donkey instead of, the A word. But then again, no, excuse me, he was able to say the C word. And I was like, really? He can't say, a butt, but he can say a COCK,
yeah.
And it was just weird how he could say certain words, but other words that I would think were he couldn't say.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Good morning, Rita.
Not to change the subject, but yeah, I'm changing the subject. If you ever come across the Day of the Dead Barbies, pick them up.
Oh.
They sell up to $200.
Wow.
Yeah, Day of the Dead Barbie doll, brand new Mattel. That was 186. I just seen Facebook had posted that Mattel had released the Day of the Dead. I thought, well, wait a minute, didn't they release that last year? That's like old news. So I thought, well, let's look on eBay and see what they go for. That's what I did this morning. I was like, about spit my coffee. I was like, holy shit. They do better in the box, but even just the doll itself goes for like $175. So
sweet.
Be on the lookout for. I would like to have one just because they're cool.
Yeah.
And I'm not a Barbie collector, but they're really, the artwork on them is beautiful. I can see what the big deal is with them because they're gorgeous. Right down to the dress, they have the face makeup, everything. They're from head to toe. They are gorgeous. And I'm not a Barbie collector, but that one I would like to have. They're all different. One of them went for $206. So it's like, dang on. So there's your bolo for the day. Day of the Dead Barbie. Yeah, 2019 is when they were released. That's what, and I seen that this morning. Like, no way, that's kind of old news. So, but I'd never seen them in the stores, to be honest with you. Of course, I never looked for them either. But
yeah,
I'm going to start.
There you go.
So there's your bolo.
Yeah, looking through that stuff definitely, it just puts little ideas in your head at least, and says, keep an eye out for this, and that's good. I need to take my packages out, so I will be right back.
Okie dokie.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Well, I
Rita?
can't get up very quickly, so you'll be back before I get in trouble. So, uh,
Great.
oh mercy.
Everybody in the
Oh.
chat, Mr. Sadie and Bum Crack.
Hi, Mr. Sadie and Bumcrack. I can't see the chat, so if you said hello, I
Bum
can't see.
She missed the first hour because of the time change. Kathy says she looks like that Day of the Dead Barbie when she wakes up.
Yeah. I was speaking of bum crack being an hour late because of the time change. I remember when I was a kid, the one time we went to church and during the time change and we didn't realize that it was daylight savings time, and we were walking into church as everybody was walking out.
Jeez.
I've done that before and showed up to work an hour early.
Oh,
I was supposed to be there at 4 a.m. I was sitting there at 3 a.m. thinking,
oh, Lord.
I'm here. I might as well go open up the plant.
Yeah.
I got a whole hour, at least an hour and a half to myself to sit there, drink coffee, and do my paperwork.
Mhm.
Oh.
I love this time of year. When we lose an hour of sleep, I thrive on that.
I just like it
But-
being later,
but in the fall, everybody looks forward to being able to sleep an extra hour. To me, that was always worse on me than now. Well, happy birthday, Rita.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Kathy said it was her birthday.
I have 12 packages going out today.
Nice.
Cool.
I have my first Macari sale. And
Awesome.
I got a message, or I'm seeing on the thing, it says delivery attempt failed. Something like could not access. So is there any way to contact a buyer on Macari? Anybody?
I don't know. I don't do it enough to know, so I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. Hank would probably know, Hank Allen Cat, because she does. Is it Hank that does the Macari? I'm pretty sure somebody said she does mostly on Macari.
You're stuck frozen. Why are you stuck?
Who?
Rita,
Rita said she's stuck frozen. Oh, let me sure.
What is that? Oh, never mind.
yeah, so I have to see if I can contact them. It says delivery location not accessible or something.
Huh.
What the story is with that.
I would think that there's a place to message the buyer.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I'm looking on the desktop. It might be one of those things where you can't do it. Yeah, how do you do it, Hank? Do you have to do it from the phone?
There she is.
I was trying to do it on.
Oh, his bum cracks time doesn't change until the 29th.
Oh,
I remember that.
that's
Why?
weird.
Where's he at?
He's over in England, ain't he?
UK.
Yeah. He doesn't have, they don't have the same.
Progress item viewer.
Oh, I see. What kind of
I didn't even know around the world had daylight savings time. I thought that was just a United States thing. I suppose not, because the time has to be the same everywhere. Yeah, I guess that was a dumb comment I just made. Never mind. Otherwise, the time would be all messed up everywhere. Never mind. I guess the whole world has to follow suit. That was dumb. I wasn't even thinking. When I was in college, I took a nap after my 3 p.m. class, woke up at 7. I was rushing to get to my 7 a.m. class. And
I've done
realized
that before
once I
too.
got to the classroom, it was 7 p.m. and not 7 a.m.
I've done that before too. Falling asleep and woke up thinking, "Oh my God, I'm late." You know, just
I've done that, like falling to sleep during the day, taking a nap, yeah, and then all of a sudden thinking, "Oh my God, it's the next morning. I gotta go to work."
I've done that. I haven't worked since 2005, other than eBay, but I have woke up in the middle of the night thinking, "Oh my God, I'm gonna be late for work." I'm thinking,
Yeah.
wait a minute. I don't do that anymore.
Okay, maybe it says go to, did you see, go to the in progress item, view order, then go to the bottom and click the message icon next to buyer. That's one
Leave
way
them
to get there
alone.
from the phone.
But, oh, good Lord, now they're both after the cat. She's
Good
just like,
morning.
Morning, Rita.
I finally got
Rita.
in.
You guys
Good
sing happy
job.
birthday to
Hello.
Rita.
I would have been here earlier, but it's like 7 a.m.
I know, it's super early there.
It's a little early for me.
I understand. Especially being on, you should be in bed sleeping. You're on
Oh, that's
vacation.
okay.
Got my backup coffee cup now.
I wanted to come on. I never come on.
I
I'm never on
appreciate
vacation.
By the way, if you guys want a good coffee cup, keeps your coffee hot for a long time, this brand right here is
Right.
awesome.
Hydro Peak.
Yep. My sister got me that for Christmas, and I had regular cup of coffee, then I make a backup cup so I don't have to get up again for a while. And that will keep my coffee hot for almost 2 hours.
Wow.
So, and
This
when I
is-
first put it in there, it's like if you try to take a sip out of it, you might as well. It's like lava. Come on.
Mr.
Come
Sadie says, I just can't believe Valerie did all that stuff you guys just said while she was gone. She's a troublemaker. You gotta watch her, Mr. Sadie.
Oh my
Hello?
gosh.
Are you still sleepy? Look at that hair.
We got rain.
Yeah, hi.
It's raining here this morning, so
Here I
What do
go.
you want? Oh, hello. I have
usually
another
I'll
visit.
just take my stuff out and put it in the landscape box, but today I had to put it in a IKEA bag and make sure that it was covered before. It won't be too long before he comes out, so.
Are you reading the chat, Maggie, with Hank helping you?
Do what?
Maggie, are you reading the chat? Hank's helping you. She said on the computer I can message a buyer if I've already had an open chat message with them, but if not, I just go on the phone and do it the aforementioned way.
Great, because I was just figured that I couldn't find it on the desktop, so I'm going to try to see if I can do it on the computer.
Are you sleepy?
It's a pain. My very first Macari order, and it's already screwed up, right?
What happened to your Macari
Why
order?
is it screwed up?
Well,
Brush your hair.
it couldn't be delivered. It said no access to delivery location.
Okay, yeah.
So, so
Huh.
That stinks.
Well, that's no fault of yours.
no, it isn't, but I don't want the buyer to get upset, so I'm going to send her a message and see. I don't know. Should I tell her to contact her post office or?
Yeah, because they'll probably have it they'll probably keep it at the post office for a couple of days, I would think.
All right,
Oh, I'll let you print the label.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, if you want to know anything about Macari, Hank has all the answers. Yeah, I think it started probably around midnight, the rain, and it's been raining ever since. So
Yeah,
at
it's
least
coming
it's
our
not
way.
snow. At least it's not snow. I know this in the forecast though for the next couple of, there's like two more chances of snow right now that we could possibly get, but I don't know.
What is There's weird
Yay.
noise going on outside. You falling asleep?
But yeah, I was really, really happy with the sales that I got. And there was a couple. I sold it was a pendant. It was a 14 karat gold pendant, and I sold that. It was a L, and I sold that for 75. So
Ooh.
that was my biggest sale of the weekend. So
I used to do that when I was younger. I had the like Laverne. I had the L on my jean jacket. It was rhinestone, big L. Now I do the patches. I have a jean jacket, Levi jean jacket I got, and I've been buying patches for it and stuff, trying to nostalgia.
yeah.
And what's his name? John, Cincinnati Picker, got a bunch of Hershey's patches. He's got like Crackle and Reese Cup and something else. I was like, oh, I got to order some of those for my jean jacket. Because I did that when I was younger too. I had a jean jacket that had patches all over it, buttons and the big L, and I love that jacket. Somebody stole it. I'm like, why would anybody want that?
Oh my gosh.
And why would anybody want that?
You can't have anything.
No, they stole it out of my locker at school of all places, in the
Oh
gym.
my gosh.
I had two coats stolen. I had my Letterman jacket. I had the school jacket with the leather arms. I
Yeah.
had the warrior head on the back. And my mom, she saved a lot to buy that jacket because she wanted me to have one because I was in sports and I had the letters and stuff, and she wanted me to put them on that. So she saved up and bought her tips and stuff and bought that jacket for me. And I had it for maybe 6 weeks, and somebody cut the lock off my thing or broke the lock off my locker in gym and took my jacket while I was at practice. And I'm like, why would anybody want that? It had my name on it.
Right.
It does not make any sense.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably somebody that didn't like me personally, but I'm thinking, who doesn't like me? Why would you steal from me? I haven't done anything to anybody. Then they took my jean jacket. Bambi, what are you doing? Leave the cat alone.
That's good to know, Frankie. She said TTD is what I signed my art with. So if you ever see artwork with TTD and dated, that's most likely me. Wow. Frankie, do you have a bunch of pieces out there?
All right. Come on,
Some
get
of
under
the
my
a gallery or
Come on. Out of your blankie. Good Lord, Bambi, make up your mind.
I have I think it's a couple of probably 3 or 4 of my aunts that are on my dad's side that are artists. Not
Come on.
not well known. I mean,
Come on.
they've painted
Come on.
pictures and stuff like that. But there's one that she actually had art good enough that it's
Come on,
in a gallery.
I have a few special pieces of jewelry that I've made. It has my initials on it, and like gold leaf ink or whatever they call that. So I only sign certain pieces myself.
I do really good with stick figures.
Yeah.
That's about all I can draw. I am not a good drawer.
I have sold 2 pieces of actual art that I've painted, and I haven't painted in years, so I haven't sold anything since then. But
I'm horrible.
Me too. I'm not creative in any way.
I love to paint. I just don't have time to.
Yeah.
I used to be really crafty, but I just don't have the patience for that crap anymore.
I'd rather make money doing what I do, because
Yeah.
painting was not a passion. Where buying, thrifting, and all that has always been something I've enjoyed since I was little.
Yep.
So
I agree.
Hey, Lori, I have a question.
sure.
Okay. Shoot.
These
Pops.
worth any?
I don't know. I can't see them. I see
Okay.
Nikki's page.
I got an
Oh,
Avenger Hulk
yeah. Here, let
and
me
a
see.
Slimer.
Let me see. What you got, a Slimer? Oh, I got that one. I love that one. Let me see. Let me look on. There's an app that you can get. It's a
I have
Funko
some-
Pop app.
I just collect them.
Funko
I
Pop.
know Adams too.
And you have which? Let me see. Where's that search? You have what's the number for Hulk?
Hulk $4.99.
$4.99. Okay. Well, I don't want the latest editions. I want the Hulk. Okay, Hulk. Let me check him out here. Usually, is that the green one or silver?
The green one.
They usually run about $8, I think. Some of them, unless they're exclusives.
Well, they're a Walmart exclusive.
Okay.
I got them like last year for like $1.
They're like $9. These are like $9.
Oh, okay.
Collect them for yourself, or
I wanted to sell it, but if it's not worth that much, I'm gonna keep it.
well, let's check eBay. Sometimes eBay prices are different than the pop or the PPG.
Alert has arrived.
Oh, thank you. Let's see. Funko Pop Hulk.
Kathy says no artistic ability here. My stick men even look anemic.
Yeah, they're running about $8.99 on eBay. So
On eBay.
yeah. What's your other one? You have Slimer. That one might be a little bit
Yes.
more since they're getting ready to come out with another
Another movie.
another Ghostbusters, which I just watched the newest one the other day. Again, I've seen it like 10 times.
That one's $7.47, the number.
That one. $9.99 is what the going price is for that
It's
one.
not too bad.
I have that. I got that one for Christmas. That was one of my favorites. So, because I love certain ones, but yeah.
So
What'd you
Mike,
pay? Not to be nosy, but what'd you pay for them?
$1.
Oh, that's not bad. You can still get if you do
Yeah, you can still
calculated
make your
shipping,
money
you're still
back.
going to make some money on it.
make
What
a
about
little
these?
profit on it. Yeah.
What is it? Dorbs? Yeah, those are by Funko Pop also. What's that one?
The limited edition Iron Spider-Man.
Dorbs.
Oh, it's 442.
Mike said they froze the stock market for 15 minutes at 9:30 due to health panic. What?
That's going for about $14.99. Yeah,
That's good.
that's the
That's
highest.
at the 99-cent store.
This crazy.
Let's see. Funko Pop Avengers Infinity War Iron Spider-Man 442. Somebody's asking $29.99. I don't think they're going to get that.
Yeah.
But let me see. Check the definitive comps here. Now, see the actual comps. You're looking at $6.99 plus shipping. So you can probably push $7 out of it. But if you got it for 99 cents,
Yeah.
that's still a profit. So. See, we don't have those in our 99-cent store. I look all the time trying to find those things in our 99-cent or our Dollar Tree.
Well, the 99-cent store over here, sometimes they have stuff for like $2.99 or $3.99.
Uh-huh.
And so they have a lot of toys,
Yeah.
especially during Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Now,
Those
they
stuff
might
are-
go higher. They might be next year. They might be, or next Christmas, that might be worth more because,
Yeah.
it just depends on because Funko Pop is kind of flooded right now, but
Yeah.
the older ones are going to go for a lot more, of course. And, then you got your commons, which is kind of like what you have. And then you have the ones that were limited edition production. So there was only so many of those made. And so it's just, but the collectors will buy them up, before, once they hit the market, they're going and standing in a line waiting for them to come into the stores to buy them up. So that's why a lot of times Walmart, they carry a lot of commons because the most popular ones have already been bought. So,
Yeah.
and a lot of people, collectors, order straight from Funko Pop themselves. So,
Yeah. I just keep collecting them and save them.
yeah, that's what I do. I mean, I've got several, and I sell at least one or two a week. So and I don't pay anything over $3 for them. You know, if I can buy them in bulk, that's the most I'll pay for them. Is
Yeah.
$3. And I pick through and keep the ones that I bought the bulk lot for in the first place for myself. So then the rest I sell.
Yeah.
But or I
Cool.
give them they're great gifts for kids too, for Christmas and birthdays. And it's like when I had nieces and nephews show up for Christmas Eve that, you know, I wasn't expecting. I ran next door and dug out some Funko Pops
Got
and
a
wrapped
Funko
them up and give them, you know. And one I give him it was Chucky from Rugrats, and you know he's into Minecraft and all that. He's like, "What's this?" You know, and it's worth money. I said, "That's a collector's." Which his dad knew that was a collector's item. So, but I give him good stuff. It's not like I'm going to give him junky ones. But
Yeah.
then I forgot I had the Minecraft Pigman. And I was like, "Oh, I should have given him that." But it's like, I want this, you know.
Did you,
Like, hey, at least I'm giving you
Dead
something.
last night?
What's that?
Did anybody watch The Walking Dead last night?
Yep,
No, I missed it.
Ah, can't talk about it then.
it was pretty good. I
fell
was,
asleep.
Gotta watch it.
I was impressed.
I'll
I
have
was
to catch
impressed.
up on it next week.
It was a good
Next week
episode.
be better.
Well, I usually catch the one that was aired on the hour before they release the next one. So I always start watching at 8:00, so I can watch the fun if I miss it. But dang it, I heard it was a good episode, and I felt I was out.
Yeah, it was good. I usually will watch the first one and then I'll watch the encore.
Mhm.
You know, after Talking Dead is usually over, and then I'll. But yeah, it was a good episode.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
been
I've seen the
collecting the toys of The Walking Dead since The Walking Dead started.
Uh-huh.
So I have a bunch of them.
Yeah.
In
That's
my I take a picture of it because my husband says I need to get rid of them.
Well, you know how that
He
goes.
tells me sell them. I'm like, no.
I think I'm
No.
2 weeks. I think I'm 2 weeks behind on The Walking Dead.
I don't. I if I find Walking Dead figures, I usually end up putting them online. I'll find them at yard sales and stuff, and I'll sell them. I got the McFarlane. It was Herschel with his Grutch,
Yeah.
and then I got Rick Grimes, and I paid I think $2 a piece for them, and I sold them for $18.99 a piece. So,
Nice.
like, if I can make a buck on them, the only thing I don't let go of is like Star Wars figures and stuff like that. That usually goes in my personal collection. Everything else, if it's not something I collect, it goes on.
That's crazy.
I like The Walking Dead. I'm a deadhead. I'm a fanatic about The Walking Dead. But honestly, I feel like I might be starting to lose interest.
No, just kidding.
I mean, when
I
I
did
watch
during
it,
that-
I enjoy it and stuff, but like before, I mean, I would watch it every season. That new season that come up, I'd watch it right from the beginning of the show,
Mhm.
right from season 1 up until when the new season would come out. And but now it seems like I'm 2 weeks behind right now, and which I would never be 2 weeks behind ever normally. And I don't know, maybe my focus is just not there right now, but I don't know, we'll have to see what happens.
I've started collecting the graphic novels. I'm trying to get all of them and then read them and then compare them to the show and see how it differs.
Yeah.
It's
They're a
kind of
lot
like they're like dragging shit on too far, it seems like sometimes, and I don't know.
Some of the things they do on
Don't lie
it.
when I say I am an actual Walking Dead fanatic.
Yeah. Which one's that one? Which one's that one? Is that number 1? I just found number 1. Yeah. I just ordered number 1 off of Macari. I think I paid like $5 or no, the thrift books. I paid $5 for it.
Oh,
Hi,
nice.
Bridget.
Hey, Bridget.
most of them are like 20 some dollars. I found, I said, I don't care if it's it doesn't have to be in mint condition for me because I'm going to read it anyway. So that's going to automatically put a crease in the binding anyway. So I'm buying them to read them.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Gas is gonna be super cheap, he said.
There's that traveling girl. Are you in Florida yet,
Hi, Bridget.
Bridget? She's headed to Florida. Sunny Florida. Hopefully it's sunny and nice and beautiful temperatures. It's usually pretty good. I went there. When did we go there? I think it was that week in March. I think it was. And it was beautiful.
Well, there's only one reason I want to go to Florida, and that's to go to Galaxy's Edge.
Texas, or Frankie said, dropped a video of what I'm working on this morning. Oh, okay.
Oh. I have to go watch.
That reminds me, I got to do I finally got something to start my second flip on my flip side series.
Oh, cool.
I bought a lot of those hero clicks, but they're all Marvel and DC characters.
Uh-huh.
So some of them go anywhere between up to $12.99 a piece. So there's 40 of them. So, and I got them for $16, which was $4 more than what I made off of that other piece. But still, I use that $12 to buy, that next item to flip. So
yeah,
but
awesome.
it'd be fun. On my almost getting to that 1,000. Teresa says, you need more of an intro. You need I said, well, how about you follow me around with a camera? I can edit that in. Because she says, you need to make it more of like a show. I said, I'm trying.
Well, I was gonna start a new channel in the drama channels and the response channels, but now I'm thinking, they're kind of crazy over there and they do stuff like swatting people and doxing people. So I was kind of thinking maybe I'd just start doing a cooking channel.
A cookie? Cookie or cooking? Oh, be like Julia Childs. Ooh, and you flip the cookie. Woo, don't forget the basting brush. My mom used to watch it that and the Cajun dude. I guarantee. Onions.
I love that. I love my subscribers and I'm friends with most of them and I enjoy coming on and doing lives with them and stuff. But I mean, there's just nothing else that I could say about reselling that hasn't already been said 20 times over, Oh, I set the alarm off.
No, but people loved your list it or ditch it. And sometimes, that's the thing is it doesn't always have to be about reselling.
Right. It could be just fun.
It could just be hanging out and just like-minded people, we all think alike, and that's kind of the way that I see this show is it's not all about reselling, 90% of it probably not even about reselling.
Yeah.
But
hanging out on the tube.
I don't know. I got so much going on. Who the hell knows what I'm going to be doing?
That's me. It's like I got all these ideas and they're just all running rampant in my head. It's like, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. And then I see something on TV that takes my attention. Sorry.
Okay, that's all right.
I've got ADD, so.
You probably do too.
What? Fishing and Picking says Justin Wilson was Gar on T.
Huh?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know who Justin Wilson is. What did you see? Karev is no longer on Grey's Anatomy.
Huh?
Who?
Does anybody watch Grey's Anatomy?
I haven't seen that in
Long time ago.
forever. We were watching it religiously and then just stopped.
Hmm.
So is it still going? Are they still doing episodes?
Yeah, they're on like season 16.
Oh, wow.
They're talking about 17 being the last, but they said that like at 15. So who knows?
I think the
think I-
last
all
time I
depends
watched
on-
it,
It all depends on. It all depends. It seems like it all depends on Grey because she's Meredith Grey because she's Ellen Pompeo because she's
Yeah.
like she wants to move on, but then all of a sudden she said in an interview that they keep giving her offers she can't refuse, so she keeps going.
it's a good show. I liked it. We just stopped watching it for one reason. or
And now
another.
they have the spin-off of it, Station 19. Oh my god, I love that show. It's about the firefighters.
Yeah, I watched The Resident the other day, and that was a pretty decent show. But it just reminds me of Grey's Anatomy. It's like all these hospital shows are kind of the same if you think about it.
Yeah.
So, but there was one show that I liked. It was called Saving Hope, and it was filmed in Canada. I think that was a good series. And then it just stopped. I was like, it figures. Ones I like, it just stops. Come on, because it had a bit of a paranormal side to it too.
Right.
Because the guy could see the past loved ones or whatever of the patients that were in it. But it was a pretty good show.
I'm just barely on, I think it's season 6 of Grey's Anatomy. I had never watched it. I fought watching it, and then I finally just turned it on and started watching it. It's actually a really good.
Yeah, it's a good
Really
show,
good
good
show.
series.
Yeah.
It is really good.
So but I didn't know that they were still filming.
Mm.
That's crazy. The thing has been on for a long time.
It's kind of like Days of Our Lives or whatever. You can
Oh, yeah.
not watch that for a year or two, come
Yep.
back, and it's still the same same thing going on.
Mhm.
It's true. It is very true.
Oh, the Cajun cook is Justin.
Oh, gotcha. And he said,
What is
I
it?
gone to, yeah.
Oh, the Cajun cook. yeah.
Justin Wilson.
Oh yeah. My mom used to watch those. I think it was Saturdays they would come on. That and what's his name, the painter. Let's
Bob
put a
Ross.
happy little tree right here, and a happy little mountain.
I
and a
love
happy little
Bob
cow.
Ross.
Yeah,
He's so cool.
his voice was very soothing.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean,
She used to watch all that.
he was definitely a hippie.
Yeah, his painting
talk
techniques
about-
were. I learned stuff from him.
Yep.
You know, watching him. It's like, hey, I didn't know you could use that big of a paintbrush that would get that effect, or
Oh, Bob
because he
Ross.
would have an actual paintbrush, and so it's like, oh, I don't have to use these teeny little tiny things. I can just whitewash the whole thing with this one,
There you go.
Yeah, he was. He painted the happy things in the trees.
And,
Yep.
Yeah, I use a lot of his techniques just by watching him to do, because I had a hard time with trees because you try to do it every little detail, and he's like, well, do it, he'd do it this way and it still look like a tree. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool,
He always made it look so easy.
Yeah. Yeah, he was I used to love watching. I'd sit there with my mom and watch us. And I'd get my little paints out, and be painting and learning. So yeah, a lot of his techniques I've used on my own painting. So, and it's hard to believe so many people still like him. They watch it
Oh,
on
yeah.
YouTube. I mean,
Mhm.
everybody. There's young people that are watching him, thinking, wow,
He's a legend.
Yeah, he is a legend. And his paintings were so simple, but yet so beautiful at the same time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know I kind of dabbled in when I moved here, I was being from California, it was like we were always going. We were always doing, there was always something going on. But
Uh-huh.
coming to a small town from California, it just, I couldn't slow down. I couldn't
Uh-huh.
I couldn't get to that point where I could just, slow down and just, relax on the weekends. It just wasn't. So I was trying to find different little, things that I could do, something to keep my mind busy or whatever. And so I got into some painting, and yeah, that did not. Mike walked in. He was like, "What is that?"
Abstract.
I mean, he couldn't even tell what. And it was like, a landscape shot or whatever. But yeah, it didn't look anything like that.
Be right back.
Okay.
And now people are doing the liquid painting where they
Yep.
just pour it all in a cup, the pour painting. And some of that's cool, but it's not. Yeah, everybody's doing it. So it's
Yeah.
like, man, it just looks like you dumped over a cup of paint. I'm sorry.
That's interesting. Fishing and Picking said Bob Ross spent 20 years in the Air Force.
Mm.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that's interesting.
I didn't know that.
We used to watch the painting shows, and then we would watch the Pro Bowlers tour every Saturday.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yep, because
Yep.
that's what.
Yeah, Frankie says she's learned from him how to make trees and mountains and clouds.
Yeah, he made it look so easy when
Crazy.
as in art class and stuff they make you put so much thought in it that it's like it makes it hard. But he just like boop, 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 you're done. It's like, well, Mr. Choot didn't know what he's talking about. I'm gonna do it like Bob Ross.
I always watched The Wide World of Sports too.
Yeah, Wide World of Sports and what was that? The Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. That was my dad's show. He loved watching that.
Yeah, my dad watched that too.
Fishing and Picking says Ross said every painting he did for TV, he painted 3 times.
Interesting.
Wow.
That's a lot of painting.
I
Yeah.
never, but if you ever find his books or DVDs, they sell really well.
Yes, they do.
Texas Val says those dang soap operas gave me a nervous breakdown. Everybody cheating on each other, intermarrying.
Yeah.
They didn't
Well,
seem
what about that
concerned
one?
about
It was
catching any diseases. Oh yeah.
what was that one called Port Charles or something where they had a crazy woman and a little marionette dude that she thought was alive, and then you got on Days of Our Lives, you got Days of Our Lives with Marlena, who's she thinks she's the devil or something. I'm like, what? Come on now. And then her husband John, he talks like this every time he talks. I hated that guy. I'm like, oh my God, he's worse than Batman. It's like, come on, John.
Yeah. Fishing and Picking says Ross also never earned a dime from his TV show, but was able to brand him for his own line of painting supplies.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was worth it.
I
Mhm.
suppose he was on PBS, so there's not much budget there, I suppose.
Yeah.
No. But I mean, yeah, he had a kind of a secondary,
Yeah.
line, so he could do.
So
his
he was
painting
the
supplies.
original YouTuber.
Yeah.
There you go.
His videos you don't get paid for, but he gets paid for by brands.
Yep.
Can you imagine if you could find one of his paintings? I bet
Oh
that'd go
gosh.
Oh,
for
boy.
a good amount.
Uh-huh.
I look for stuff like that, even in thrift shops, because you just never know what you're going to find there. It could be worth millions or at least a few $100s.
Yep.
And sometimes the frames alone are worth more than what's in it.
Yeah.
So it's always best to check those too.
Here's a good example of last night I watched a little bit of American Home Videos, American Idol.
Yeah.
And there was this guy on there who he was a young guy. He had no clue who Lionel Richie was. He was calling Luke Bryan Justin. He thought he was Justin Timberlake. Anyways, he's like, and Lionel Richie's like, do you know who I am? And he's like, it doesn't ring a bell, but weren't you on Wheel of Fortune? So, I mean, he thought he was Pat Sajak. It's like, Pat Sajak wasn't even freaking black. But anyway, But that's
Oh
a
my
good
gosh.
example of why we find these things out and about, because like that guy there, I mean, if Lionel Richie's stuff was worth money, which I have no clue if it is or not, but if his stuff was worth money, he would have no clue who Lionel Richie was. I mean,
I
Lionel
love
Richie's a
Lionel
legend,
Richie.
you
I
know.
like Lionel
Uh,
Richie.
yeah, and he's one of the legends, you know, and if that kid's parents died, he had no clue who Lionel Richie was. So
Yeah,
if they had something of Lionel Richie's that was worth a ton of money, he would just get rid of it at like the thrift store or something.
right.
You know what I mean? So that just kind of shows you, you know, each generation. I mean, we think like Lionel Richie and Billy Joel and all them are timeless, but there's really generations that do not know who these people are.
Yeah.
And same way with Bob Ross. I mean, we all know Bob Ross because our parents watched him, you know.
But not all the young people do. There's some that do. Some,
Yeah,
you know, some young people, like my daughter knows who he is,
yeah,
but I think it's because of me. But
yeah.
she knows, you know, my son knows. But there's some of the younger generation, even younger than them, that don't know who he is. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, as generations go on, it might be easier to find this kind of stuff because they have no clue who
Mhm.
these people are or how
Yep.
wonderful these people are or what legends these people are, you know,
Right.
because the more generations we go on down the line, parents are spending less time with their kids too. I mean, like my kids, they know all the 80s music, you know, and
Mine too.
everybody that I grew up with, they know all the TV shows. I mean, one of our favorite things to do together was watch Golden Girls. I mean, how many people my kids
Love that.
girls are, you know?
Love that show.
But they know the Jeffersons, they know Three's Company, and you know, but that was because we all spent time together. But you know, with the next generations, they're spending less and less time with their kids, so
Yeah.
they don't talk to their kids, they don't share this stuff with their kids. Like when Brandy was in high school, they had this musical back to the 80s, and Brandy was there, and she was like knowing all the songs, and everybody's like, how do you know all these songs? And she's like, my mom listens to them all the time, you know, but we spend a lot of time together, you know.
Yeah.
That's like my nephew's daughter. She's 13. I guess my great niece or whatever. She absolutely loves ABBA. You know, she
Mhm.
loves all the 80s, and to see somebody that young, you know, enjoy the music that I know I've listened
Yeah.
to, you know, most of my life, and to see that generation there enjoying that music, and her friends all like it too. So that it's good to see that some of the older stuff, some of the newer generations are picking up on that stuff. It's great
Yeah.
new music to them, and
Yeah.
they're loving it, you know, and it's good to see that.
You
And
know,
she absolutely, when we do our Friday night wine nights, she's our DJ through Bluetooth from his house. So we
Oh,
don't
wow.
we do like video chat with her, and she's picking out what songs for us to listen to while we're on our wine night. And she hits all of it. She loves all of it. So we're not having to listen to that techno stuff that they or whatever it is they listen to now, you know, that
Yeah.
you can't even understand what they're saying. And she enjoys the older music. She said she likes it. She can hear it. She understands it. She likes the lyrics and the way they were written and all that stuff. So she's kind of an
Now,
old soul.
now anybody who's listening that's a big American Idol fan, don't talk to me about American Idol. I have no clue what's going on. I like to watch the interviews or the auditions
Uh-huh.
sometimes, and chances are I only watch because somebody else has it on, so I have no clue who anybody is on there as far as the contestants. So if you talk to me about American Idol, you'll get a duh from me because I have no clue.
I haven't watched it since Carrie Underwood, and I picked her out of the commercial before it even aired. I said, "There's your winner," and sure enough, you know, we followed it the whole that season, and she ended up winning. But she just had that voice that when you heard it, it brought goosebumps.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and I told Teresa, I said, she's going to win it. She's like, how do you know? I said, trust me, she's going to win it. And she did. And then I
Yeah.
haven't watched it since, but I was watching something on Facebook, and the video popped up where it was American Idol, and it was during the auditions part of this new season, and there was a girl sitting outside where they had already that town that they had already had their auditions through. She sat there that entire day. She wasn't a contestant, but she wanted to get in and to be heard. And she's out there, and Ryan Seacrest noticed her that morning, noticed her again that afternoon when he went to lunch, and then when he was leaving, he noticed she was still there. And so she was there for like 14 hours. I forget how long. So he just went up and talked to her, and she said, I want to be heard. She says, I never got a chance to audition, to go to the audition because I work. And he said, and she sang a little bit, and he's like, come with me. So he took her straight up. Auditions were over for the day, but Lionel and all them were still in the room, and Katy Perry and Lionel. Yeah, it was Katy Perry, Lionel, and what's his name? Luke.
Karen.
And he says, you have got to hear her. And they're like, well, what's your contestant number and all that? And she said, I don't have one. She said, I didn't know until, yesterday that this was going on because I work so much. And she says, I want to be a singer. And they're like, okay, show us what you got. And she opened her mouth, and I was like, oh my God, that's the winner right there. And I don't even watch the show anymore. And they pushed her right on through to Hollywood. They got her a number and everything. So she's on her way.
Wow.
So I just thought that was so awesome that, and Ryan was, they were all crying. Ryan was crying. All three of the, Katie was crying, because this beautiful voice was almost missed.
Right.
Because, she works all the time trying to, to support herself and to do the things she wants to do, and to be a singer. And that voice right there was almost bypassed, because had Ryan not noticed her that day and noticed the determination that she had and talked to her, she'd have been bypassed. So, and I think she's going to win it. So I can't remember her name, but I think she's going to win it. So, but she's got the drive, she's got the heart, she's got the voice to go with it. So,
wow.
I said, I don't need to watch it now. I already know who's going to win. If she doesn't, somebody's going to pick her up and sign her for a record label. So
Frankie said Kelly Clarkson was from Fort Worth, and her mom worked at my child care company. I've known her.
I like Kelly Clarkson
from the age of 9, and she was a little brat.
She's a cute. Kelly Clarkson's a cutie. I like her.
I was one of the judges on The Voice.
Yeah, I like her. She's something else.
So Rita, today is your birthday?
Yeah.
Yes, it
Where's the
is.
happy birthday? We already said happy birthday.
to
Happy
you.
birthday.
Happy
Said when
birthday
you came
to
back,
you.
I said we got to sing to Rita, and everybody
Happy
ignored me. So I
birthday,
was like,
dear
well, I guess we're
Rita.
not
Happy
singing.
birthday to you.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
I didn't want to hurt your ears or anything.
You're fine.
It's such your birthday.
Not doing anything but going to doctor's appointments.
Oh, yay.
Doctor's appointments.
I'm on vacation this week, so
That's exciting. Are you going to do anything this week?
I don't know. It's up in the air. We got a lot of stuff to do here, but
Yeah.
nobody can go anywhere anymore.
Well, I understand. Do you watch that show Drive with Norman Reedus?
Oh, you mean Ride?
Right. Yeah, not Drive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I figured you did, but I wasn't 100% sure.
I like him. He's a cutie.
He's
He's
great-
a very nice person in person.
Yeah.
Who?
and for
And
the
he
long
smells good.
Norman Reedus.
Daryl.
Oh.
I seen him when he was a little bit younger in the episode of Law and Order SVU, and I'm like, I know that voice, because he was a little heavier, so his face was a little bit puffier. And I thought, God, I know that voice. And I got the look. I said, oh, that's Daryl. I said, that's Norman Reedus.
Well, I didn't know he was in SVU.
Yeah, he was only in, I think, one episode. He was
Yeah.
Oh,
A
was
lot
like
of the people from The Walking
influencer.
Dead were in SVU.
Yeah.
They didn't have him as a pervert, did they?
No, he
No.
wasn't a pervert. He was
Oh, good.
he was an influential person to a teenager. He thought he knew everything about psychological disorder and stuff. And
Oh,
I can't remember what episode it was, but
Hmm.
she followed everything he said and went off her meds and all this and ended up crashing into people with her car. And it was crazy, but he was good at it. He was young. I'd say he was probably in his 20s
Wow.
or so.
Morning,
But,
Julie.
But yeah, I like him.
I don't know what it is about him, but he is just sexy as hell.
Well,
I
and
don't-
when he was in Boondock
Yes, he
Saints.
is.
Oh my God, yes.
Boondock Saints. I mean, that,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like
When
him
they
because he's
speak-
a smart ass.
When they
show.
speak in Latin and then they'd shoot the person, I'm sorry, but
Yes.
that was sexy as hell.
Yep. I agree. I agree.
I mean, not that I think that people killing people is sexy, but in that movie, I mean, if it was actually happening in front of me, I mean, of course it's not going to be sexy, but in
Right.
that movie where you know it's not real, I'm sorry, but that was sexy as hell. Both of them talking in another language and then boom.
I'm just glad
I
I
like-
marked him off my bucket list. So he's off my bucket list.
I like him because he's got that I don't give a shit what you think about me attitude.
Right.
You know, he is who
You've
he
met him,
is. and
Rita.
he's-
Rita, you've met him?
Yeah, I got a picture with him. I got them.
Oh, man.
Him
a very-
and Jeffrey D. Morgan. I have a picture with him. They both smell really good.
Oh,
And
Now,
Jeffrey
he's
D.
a
Morgan
pretty
likes to
man.
drink.
Oh, wow.
I don't.
Uh.
I mean,
They
I like
both
Jeffrey
smell
D.
really, really good, and they give really, really good hugs.
I like Jeffrey D. Morgan, but I prefer. I mean, he after that where they showed him kind of naked with Alpha. I was like, I don't know about that. You know.
I know, that's what I said. He got like 20 times less sexy after that. I was like,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that wasn't very flattering.
Yeah,
no.
I thought he was more
Come
cut.
on.
You know.
I know it's
He's kind of lanky.
that nasty ass.
Lanky,
Kind of lanky.
lanky and saggy.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
But
she
he's
was
still a cute.
definitely-
He's still a good-looking man.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and that smirk of his. You know, they say he added that. They when he started doing it, they're like, you got to keep doing that.
Yeah.
You know, that swaggers and the smirk. That's all something
yeah.
that he put on himself. And they're like, you got to keep doing that. That's
Mm.
Negan right there. That just.
At the
I watched
bumper,
the
they're not going
interview.
to have any of the Walker Stalkers on the West Coast anymore. Go away. Sorry, my husband. They're not having any more Walker Stalkers on the West Coast anymore. It's all
Oh.
on the East Coast.
Oh, man.
So that's why I'm glad I got to meet him and Jeffrey D. Morgan. And
Yeah.
Mm.
we took a picture with the guy who plays Ezekiel.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I like him too.
Yeah, he's really nice too. But yeah, that's it. That's all.
Sorry, Peyton.
No more. I'm sad.
Well, that just means you have to go to the East Coast.
I wonder if Maggie's ever
going
gonna
to
come back.
Plane.
I wonder if Maggie's ever going to come back. I know she's doing a lot of movies now, but I know her character pretty much got wrote off of. Was she's the hilltop person?
Oh, you mean Maggie?
Yeah.
Maybe.
She's coming back.
Yeah.
Is she coming back?
Yeah,
Mhm.
nobody likes her anymore. She's coming back.
And,
Only because she went and did that show, and she said that if she didn't get a second season, she would come back to The Walking Dead, and she didn't get a second season.
Yeah.
So she,
I'm
and
upset.
it
that
didn't
they
get
got rid of
it didn't
Michonne.
get very good reviews either. That show
Uh-uh.
she's in.
Yeah.
no.
I'm upset they got rid of Michonne.
I think she'll be back.
Did
I
they
love
get rid? They
Michonne.
didn't get rid of her.
Well,
Mhm.
her last one is, I think, is going to be the last episode. Is going to be Michonne's last episode.
Is it?
But
Mhm.
she's going into the universe movies with Rick,
Oh,
the ones that are
oh, is
coming
she?
out.
3.
Yeah, and then that new show, Beyond, is coming
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, she's got a lot of movies going on, so who knows?
Yeah.
They keep saying that these are coming out, but when are they ever coming out?
I have no clue.
Oh,
Okay, now I want
I like
pancakes.
that
I just showed a pancake commercial.
Hopefully by summer.
Right.
We've been waiting since last year.
That's
I know.
right.
I like
Yeah.
I like that interview with Norman Reedus. After when Negan killed Glenn.
Oh.
I guess he said that his son, whatever his name is, he's got a weird name. I can't remember what his
Angus?
name is. Yeah, his son called him right after it premiered, and he goes, "Not cool, Dad. Not cool at all."
My husband cracks up because we were all, not him, but me, my son, who was watching it? My younger son, we were like shocked when we saw Glenn get killed. We knew
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
killed. And we're all crying like a bunch
Yeah.
of
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
but it was sad.
My
And then
problem-
Abraham, it was like, what? Wait, that threw us all off for a loop.
That's true.
My problem
Yeah, he
was-
hasn't been in
obsessed in this house of The Walking
and
Dead.
he hasn't been in anything since The Walking Dead that I know of. The one that plays
No, he's
Glenn.
just directing. He's directing
Is
a
he
lot.
directing?
Yeah, he's
Oh.
directing a lot of them.
Oh, good. At least he's doing something. But I liked
Yeah.
him. I liked this character.
Yeah, he had a good character.
And I loved Herschel. I know he's been in movies and TV shows throughout the eons, but I
He-
did not like this character.
I got to meet him, and I got a picture with him too. But he was a really nice man. He
Yeah.
was-
A friend of mine got to
his
meet
fans,
him.
He was not like, oh, I'm too big, because he's been in other movies.
Right.
Yeah.
Really
That's
down
what-
to earth, and
He was in,
very nice.
I think he was at one of the Comic Cons here in Cincinnati a few years ago. And he was in just by himself. He had gone to like a little bar downtown Cincinnati. And a friend of mine, she was down there for the ball game. And she, before the ball game, they went into the same bar. And she kept looking at him thinking, that's Herschel. And everybody's like, nah, it's not Herschel. Just looks like him. So she walked right up to him and said, are you Herschel? He says, yes, I am. So I played Herschel on The Walking Dead, and he's sitting there drinking his little beer and got a picture with her. She said he is
Yeah.
like a grandpa. Said he is so nice. She said he didn't ask me to leave, and he was talking to everybody like he's known them for years.
Huh.
So
Crazy.
he's a super
My
nice guy.
grandma's going,
And I hated to see when he passed because he's been in a lot of movies, a lot of TV shows, and he was it's like I'll be watching Me TV and Matt Dillon comes on. He was in an episode of Matt Dillon. I was like, hey, that's Herschel. It's like
what was I watching the other day? An old show. Oh, Police Academy. And in one of the police academies, there's this mother with that little asshole kid, and Tackleberry comes over and blows out the window in their car. I was like, oh my God, that's Eliza Jane off of Little House on the Prairie.
Little Liza Jane.
Like,
Reminds me of
wow.
the song.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up for today. Thank you, everybody, for coming on and
Hi, everybody.
joining me. I appreciate it. Hope everybody had a great show, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye,
have a great
everybody.
day.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Happy birthday, Rita.
Thank you.
birthday.
Y'all have a good day.